right, so exciting day on the farm today. We got Craig here digging a giant hole. It's time for the old farmhouse to go. So we got to dig a big old hole and bury it. So the old farmhouse is going goodbye. This thing has got to be 125 years old. And today we've got a contractor coming. He's already here. And he's gonna dig a giant hole and just bury the house. And we're really not putting anything in this spot. We just wanted to get rid of this nasty old house that was on the property. Here's the old house. It's just the original nasty. It's actually pretty solid for an old house.
House sure does look swell, Clark.
Thanks, Eddie.
Look at this. Clean the lens off. So the only downside to ripping this thing out is that right now that well feeds my barn right over there, the big barn. So I got to figure out how to get the water that used to go from the well to the house over to the barn to just go from the well over to the barn. For now, let's say goodbye to the house. It's hard to believe that the people who we bought the farm from, they raised their kids in this place. I think they had at least 3 kids, and it was just tiny. It had an awesome view out the back. So here's the house that they ended up building and that we live in now. I like the old barn.
I like turtles.
And just this amazing view of the entire valley. So he's almost done. Take a look. How is it even still standing? That thing is gonna fall any second. Oh yeah. All right, so today we're working on the planter because we got a bunch of parts that just came from Shoop, I think is how it's pronounced. I don't know, a bunch of farmers told me that's where you're supposed to get parts from. I don't know if you can see these or not, but these things are called, what are these things called? I don't remember what these things are called. Let me see if it says. Dry tail, no, that's not it. It's seed firmer, that's what it's called. Basically, it's got like this nice fat, like circle thing, rounded plastic. This is all plastic.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
And this is basically going to sit inside the planter here going this way. And so it's going to stick out. Basically, it's going to drop a seed and this thing's going to push that seed firm into the soil. Push it real good. Because if you have, I guess from what I'm learning, if you have a seed that gets dropped in the trench and it isn't making good soil contact, meaning like a big chunk of soil is next to it or maybe a rock or something, and it isn't like in the soil contact is super key. Why? Because I'm assuming because there's moisture in the soil and that needs to touch the seed, and if it does, then it will have a, grow better. And
at no point were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Each one of these, there's 6 rows. Each one of these has got to get one of these seed firmers installed. And the downside is I've got to take these big wheels off and at least one of the seed discs off. These have to go deep inside here with a bunch of other pieces that have to go in there as well. So that's the project for today. Ouch. Every time on this thing. Now, that's gotta come off. We gotta read the instructions on how these things get installed. That one didn't come with instructions. So now we gotta go through this and figure out how they go on. So basically, with this kit, it came like a little, like almost like a car kit. So I guess I need to pop that off. Does that mean this thing needs to come off too? Oh boy, this is gonna be more work than I thought. Once in place, follow the instructions for an execution. Why do I need a filler block? That means I gotta take both discs off. Who tightened these before? Oh yeah, that was me. Okay. Whew. I don't understand what's supposed to happen now. Like that? Ah, yeah, check that out. I mean, that seems more secure than the other way. I really don't understand what's happening here. So now we gotta install the actual tail in there. Okay, that clicked. So that's good. And now we need to tighten this. I went way too far. There. I did it right. I think I did it right. Okay, so now what we got to do is check the pinch on the whatever. I don't even know what these things are called anymore. Basically, we take 2 business card style pieces of paper and you put it in there till it pinches like that. And then we do it this way till it pinches. And then we got to measure. It is like 1 3 inches, almost an inch. Yeah, it's 1 3/4 inches. So I think that's it.
2 hours later.
We got one done. And then the wheels, these closing wheels, I got to figure out. Somebody told me these closing wheels with the spikes will like sometimes kick the seed back out. And if you kick the seed back out, of course, it's not going to grow. So I have some different solid type discs that I got. We're gonna have to swap those out. Problem is I don't have the wrench that's the right size. So we're gonna have to run to the hardware store, get a wrench, come back and finish those. But first I'm gonna put all of the seed firmers on, the little plastic thing we just put on all 6 rows. Maybe my other parts will show up today and we can finish the planter today, but we'll see. Worst case, we gotta finish up tomorrow. So talk to you soon. If you wanna see more from me, follow along, subscribe, and I'll show you what it's like to go from no experience to full-time farmer in no time.